Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle Fondin and I am here. You can see the steam coming off my Grogu tumbler here, but I am here with another My Twin Flame story week by week. I'm here with another vlog. There you go. So I'm here with another Twin Flame story week by week. And I believe this is episode 15. I think I said last time it was episode 13, but it was 14 and now it's 15, I believe. And if not, it's 16, I think I'm just running a week behind like all the time. And so I'm here with Grogu. And this week's vlog is going to be called... Are you ready? Actually, it's really funny because I think I'm looking the wrong way because my camera is flipped. So I'm going to shift my eyes to this side of the camera. And let's see if I'm actually looking at you now. Because my camera is, which is my phone. Actually, I film the vlogs on my phone. Not the other videos, I use my actual camera. But so I'm going to turn my eyesight to this side. Because I do think if I turn my eyes to this side that I'm actually looking at you. So let's try it that way. Let's try that. If I'm wrong, then I'll just be looking away this entire vlog. So if you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thanks for subscribing below. And do click on that bell to get notifications of all my videos. I know you guys have seen changes on my channel. I hope you're enjoying the daily Twin Flame tarot readings and also the DM messages to DF. That I'm also doing daily. So yeah, check those out if you have not yet checked those out for sure. And this vlog is going to be called A Love Poem. And I'll explain why it's called A Love Poem. So first, Grogu and I, we're going to drink some green tea. I think this is tradition now. It's tradition that I bring Grogu along on the vlog journey with my green tea right here. So this is actually why I'm calling this a love poem. So this book is called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. I don't know what year it was published. I believe it was in the 1930s. Khalil Gibran lived from 1883 to 1931. So without a doubt, it was published before 1931, before his death. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up this particular book of poems is because this was by far my father's favorite book of all time. This was my father's favorite book of all time. And this is a copy that my father gave to me in 2011. And so it was very strange because last week I did speak about my father and I spoke about that painting that's like right, where are we? Right here. And that hung in my father's home, which is actually, it looks very much like The Lovers, like a twin flame soulmate painting. I don't know the origins of the painting, to be honest with you. And then I was cleaning up my desk, which I don't do very frequently. If you guys saw my desk, it would be rather embarrassing. I was cleaning up my desk, and this book, The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, given to me by my father, was on the, it was like on a shelf that kind of like stuck out to me. So I picked up the book and I began reading it. And what's interesting is, when somebody gives you a book, like their favorite book as a gift, sometimes we don't even read it. And like at the time, like he had mentioned to me to read the chapter on marriage, which I believe I did at that time. Another part of this book that he really liked to quote was on raising children. And he used to quote that all the time. And so I picked it up, and this was late last week, I believe. And I began reading on love. So I'm going to share that with you. And so I'm going to read it first. And then I'm going to explain why I made the decision to read this to you in this vlog. And then after that, we're going to break it down a little bit because you guys are twin flames. And you understand that this journey of love and romance and connection and soul connection is super difficult. And I know, myself included, in the past, and I say in the past because this week, since Thursday of last week, so I'm recording this on Thursday, by the way, on Thursday, but April 21st, 2022. So on April 14th, 2022, I had a pretty transformative experience that I am not ready to share yet. I'm writing a new book. I'm writing a new twin flame book. And I am integrating everything that I've been going through and learning in the book. So, because it just happened a week ago, I'm not particularly ready to articulate it on a video. I just don't think it will give justice to the experience if I just give it in like a 20 or 30 minute video. So I'm not going to do that yet. But suffice it to say that it has changed my perspective on everything. So that being said, I know many of you out there have been really frustrated throughout this journey. There have been moments of peace, there's been moments of turmoil, and there's been a lot of despair. So I'm going to read from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. And this is a chapter on love. Now, it starts on page 11, which I found really interesting that it was actually number 11. Then said Almitra. So Almitra, it's, these villagers are talking to a prophet. That's basically what this is. Speak to us of love. And he raised his head and looked upon the people, and there fell a stillness upon them. And with a great voice he said, when love beckons to you, follow him, though his ways are hard and steep. And when his wings enfold you, yield to him. Though the sword hidden among his pinions may wound you. And when he speaks to you, believe in him. Though his voice may shatter your dreams, as the north wind lays waste the garden. For even as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. Even as he is for your growth, so is he for your pruning. Even as he ascends to your height and caresses your tenderest branches that quiver in the sun, so shall he descend to your roots and shake them in their clinging to the earth. Like sheaves of corn, he gathers you unto himself. He threshes you to make you naked. He sifts to free you from your husks. He grinds you to whiteness. He kneads you until you are pliant, and then he assigns you to his sacred fire so that you may become a sacred bread for God's sacred feast. All these things shall love do unto you, that you may know the secrets of your heart, and in that knowledge become a fragment of life's heart. But if in your fear you seek only love's peace and love's pleasure, then it is better for you that you cover your nakedness and pass out of love's threshing floor into the seasonless world where you shall laugh, but not all of your laughter, and weep, but not all of your tears. Love gives naught but itself and takes naught but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love. It goes on to say more, but I really feel like that part is actually the most important part that I wanted to share with you. And the reason why, after reading this, and I've read this about 10 times, maybe 9 or 8, but about 10 times. And the first time I read it, there came a peace over me that, I don't know, it was just a knowingness. It was a knowingness of peace. And I was mystified because I was like, I've had this book for a long time, and why haven't I read that passage before on love, right? Why haven't I read that before? And it's probably because I wasn't ready to read it before. I wasn't ready to understand it before. So the reason why I am sharing this with you today is because I've spoken to many of you this week, as every week, right? I do a lot of coaching. And, twice, and it's never a mistake when something comes out more than once in a coaching session. Twice, coaching clients spoke to me of this notion of like watching romantic comedies, right? Watching these romantic movies, these romantic comedies, and the mounting frustration with their twin flame situation, especially after having watched these specific romantic comedies. And that brought me to the reality that in society, we grow up with this notion that love is supposed to be easy. We grow up with this notion that love is supposed to be seamless, and that romantic relationships, while, there are ups and downs, because if you look at a typical romantic comedy, it's usually amount up to the problems and issues, and then amount down to the fall, and then amount back up into the solution. It looks relatively easy still, right? It, like when you look at fairy tales, when you look at romantic comedies, when you look at romance books, even though you do see the challenges within, the challenges are typically pretty minimal because, especially in movies, they're condensing a whole lot of experience into a 90 minute to 2 hour movie, or maybe less than that even. And the reality of it is a lot more complex. And I think because we have been conditioned in society to believe that romance should be easy, that finding the right partner should be a cakewalk, this author from the 19th and 20th centuries, so late 19th and early 20th centuries, is saying the contrary. Now, it's interesting because Khalil Gibran is not the only one. If you were to go back in time and follow poets that were well before Khalil Gibran, you will find similar sayings. And one that comes to mind, which I quote quite often, is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, which is that famous chapter from the Bible in the New Testament, which is read at weddings. The love is patient, love is kind, right? And I want to go through this with you because I know many of you have reached that point many times over of frustration and anxiety and desperation and apathy almost, right? Many of you have become apathetic to this in this connection, when in the beginning it was real for you and magical and amazing and mystifying, and you felt an unconditional love that you've never felt for anyone else on the planet in your connection with your twin. And now you're feeling this despair. You're feeling like this is not real. So we're going to start with, when love beckons to you, follow him. Though his ways are hard and steep, and when his wings enfold you, like wrap around you, yield to him. Though the sword hidden among his pinions may wound you. Okay, already this first stanza in this poem is basically saying, when love itself calls to you, you must go to love. And in the very next part of the stanza, it's saying, like, literally enwrap yourself in love, though his ways are hard and steep, and the pinions in his wings may harm you. So Khalil Gibran right away is not sugarcoating love. Khalil Gibran right away is stating the fact that love will hurt. Khalil Gibran is stating the fact that love will be an uphill battle. Like, he is stating it. He is saying it clearly, but he's saying you must go to it. That is your job as a human, is to move toward love, to go toward love. And when he speaks to you, believe in him. So meaning the voice of love is truth. And though his voice may shatter your dreams as the north wind lays waste the garden. So it's again, he's expressing the dichotomy of love. Saying love draws you in, but at the same time, the voice of love is going to shatter your dreams. And this really reminds me of our dreams of the fairy tale wedding, the fairy tale meeting, the meet cute, the fairy tale romance. For even as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. Even as he is for your growth, so is he for your pruning. Again, love is about embracing the dichotomy. Love is about embracing the good and the bad, the growth and the pruning, the cutting away of your branches to make you better, to make you stronger. Even as he ascends to your height and caresses your tenderest branches that quiver in the sun, so shall he descend to your roots and shake them in their clinging to the earth. I mean, have you felt your roots, your foundation being shaken through this twin flame journey? I know I have. I know, for so many of you, your faith has been shaken through this twin flame journey. And then he equates it to sheaves of corn moving and getting to the bread phase. And there's so much the corn has to go through. So he gathers you unto himself. So like sheaves of corn, he gathers you unto himself, threshes you to make you naked, sifts you to free you from the husks, grinds you to... Now, look, do you think if corn was sentient that corn would enjoy being ground? I don't think so. He kneads you until you are pliant. Then he assigns you to the sacred fire. Then he throws you in the fire. So you may become sacred bread for God's sacred feast. All these things shall love do unto you so that you may know the secrets of your heart. So look, if you don't go through this, if you don't go through the threshing floor, if you don't go through the grinding process, if your roots are not shaken and your foundation is shaken and your faith is shaken, you will never know the truth of your heart. And in that knowledge, become a fragment of life's heart. Now look, here they're saying you can choose love or you can choose fear. What is it to choose fear instead of love? But if in your fear you would seek only love's peace and love's pleasure, then it is better for you to cover up your nakedness and pass out of love's threshing floor. That means just move away from love. Don't ever go there because you're not going to experience love. In the seasonless world where you shall laugh, but not all of your laughter, and weep, but not all of your tears, meaning you're not going to have the full experience. It's going to be very shallow. It's going to be meaningless. If you want just love's pleasure, it's going to be meaningless. Love gives not but itself and takes not but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed, for love is sufficient unto love. So in other words, and that again is The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, the chapter on love. People think that if they open their hearts again to love, that it's this awful thing. Like the fear of being hurt is just too much to bear. And what Khalil Gibran is saying is that you can run away from love, but that is not love. Meaning if you just choose the parts of love that are convenient for you, that's absolutely not love. And you will never reap the rewards of love, ever. Because love comes to you for love's purpose. Love comes to you for love's purpose and not your purpose. Because your purpose as a human, right? I'm a human too. Love coming to you for its purpose is not to make you happy. That's not why love comes to you. Love comes to you to open up, to have an experience. And so if you are trying to control and manipulate love and say, I only want the good parts, I cannot have the bad parts, forget the bad parts, then you're selling your life short. You're selling yourself short. You will never experience the extreme joys and happiness and bliss of what love can offer you. You will always have this half-measured experience. And it's kind of like just living in limbo, right? It's kind of like living in between, not feeling much, being numb to things. And in reading that poem, it really gave me perspective for an appreciation for this twin flame journey on a level that had never been fully appreciated before. And I think like you can say, I appreciate it. I'm glad for the lessons. I'm kind of glad that, I had the dark night of the soul because now I feel like I'm a better person for it. Or I'm glad for this experience with my twin flame because it awakened me to myself, to loving myself more, my own self-worth, self-love, self-respect. But this perspective is almost like taking it to the next level of, this is not even about me. This is not even about me, not even remotely about me. And it's not about my twin flame, and it's not even remotely about my twin flame. This is about God's expression of gift to the world through letting love manifest. And it always takes me back to the question, who are you living for? Who's your CEO? I know for certain that I live for God. God is my CEO. God's always been my CEO. No questions about that. No questions about that. I'm not living for myself. Never have been, never will be. So as you shift your perspective to love through divine love is seeking its expression through me as a vehicle, as a channel, as a manifester onto this earth plane, then I will be a vehicle to let love do what love will do. And it's not about my agenda. It's not about me manipulating love. It's not about me controlling love. It's not about me resisting the experience of love. What it's about is me saying yes to being the vehicle through which love can express itself. And in that full-on expression of love, then I can have the full 100% experience of what love is meant to be. Anything else less of that is not the full experience. So the pain, the sorrow, the heartbreak, the desperation, the need, the desire, all of that is all part of the experience. And so when we can fully embrace the expressions in which love comes to you to be played out in your lifetime. That's when it becomes easier, not harder. That's when it becomes easier because you no longer have resistance, right? You no longer have resistance to the process. Much more pain comes when you are in constant struggle mode, battle mode, resistance mode with this natural process of how love wants to manifest through you. And when you let go of the struggle and when you let go of the resistance, love has a space to do what it does. And so that is my big lesson for this week. And it's a lesson that I wanted to bring to you this week as well. So I hope my experience through reading this poem and my experience through, by happenstance, finding this book, I hope that brought you something this week. And I'm sorry, I'm a little bit distracted, and I just have to say this right now. I'm a little bit distracted because there is a screaming child downstairs in my apartment building that has been screaming during the entire vlog. So I don't know if you hear it. It's just that every time I'm about to say something, I hear that child screaming, and I'm like, okay. So that's why you see me like pause and stop and like I'm a little bit distracted. It's because of the screaming kid. And that's kind of a constant ongoing thing of shall I say, neglect or poor parenting. So I just thought that was something beautiful about the word love as expressed in human form. And no one can say it better than the poets, right? Like no one can say it better than the poets. Like I certainly couldn't say it that well. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Thanks so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on that bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with other twin flames. And thanks so much for your support on my YouTube channel. You can buy a book or 2 or 3. You can join a boot camp or meditation course. You can also join my group coaching. The link is below. And I will see you in the next video.